17 different denominations and religious groups sent a letter to the transition team for Biden asking that they allow individuals and American companies to re-enter the BDS program. They want the Palestinians to be re-engaged.
That's the boycott, divest, and sanction movement against Israel.
Right. And they want the Palestinians to be brought into the conversation and make any agreements contingent upon them. And even more frightening, Jay, these 17 denominations want us to go to reverse Trump's policy of taking away $200 million in aid to the Palestinian Authority and give it back to them, even though they are still operating the pay for slave program, rewarding terrorists in that group. These countries want to
explain that pay for slave. People cannot even believe this is actually happening.
Yeah, anytime that a Palestinian attacks someone, in Israel or even an American, I guess, when they do that, if they are killed, the family gets a stipend. A permanent stipend for the loss of that loved one. If they are arrested and put in an Israeli jail, they send a stipend to the person in prison or to their family if they are trying to kill Americans and Jews in Israel. That's the pay-to-slave program. President Trump reversed it, said, we will not give you any money until you stop that. The Palestinians have been intransigent. They're still doing it. And yet these religious groups want us to start paying the Palestinian Authority again. So I bring all that up to give you some of the context of the possible alarming changes coming up with Iran and with the Middle East.
Yeah, and here's the part to me, then, that's troubling. And that is, if the Georgia Senate seats, which is, again, a national election, your home state, if the Georgia Senate seats go Democratic, what is going to be preventing those policies from becoming reality?
Yeah, nothing, Jay. I mean,
right.
Look, because we already know that the Biden administration would want to do this. I mean, he's putting Jake Sullivan in place. This is his modus operandi. He drafted the Iran deal. He agrees with reinstating the Palestinian funding. The only check, Jay, would be if the Congress, the House and the Senate, would issue a statutory prohibition on it. Something, by the way, that could be possible if there were some bipartisan agreement. And like Jordan talked about, that narrow margin in the House, that would be a difficult lift, but it would be possible. But Jordan, Jay, if the Senate is controlled by the Democrats, the House is controlled by the Democrats, and there's a Biden administration, there is not a check on a policy like that going back into place.
You've got Linda Sarsour campaigning down there with Tlaib and Omar, and this is while Warnock is saying, I'm not an anti-Semite. He's trying to he's having to explain. But the polls are neck and neck.
49-48 yesterday.
And the money coming in from the left is unbelievable.
Chuck Schumer said he was going to we take Georgia, we take the world, and then he said we take America. And that's the plan. So this is the national election.
Absolutely. I mean, in addition to the candidates that are going to be officially on the ballot in Georgia, Leader Schumer and Leader McConnell are also on that ballot. And, by the way, Jay, I mean, if it's Leader Schumer that is elected and controls the Senate, the trifecta there under a Biden administration would be President Biden, Leader Schumer, and Speaker Pelosi.